Turn off the cruise control. It's time to press forward.
Hello and welcome, overcomers. Welcome back to episode number 14 of a divine healing journey with two sisters on the journey, Tina Hightower-Garrett and Wandah Parenti. It is so wonderful to be back here again. We also have Tommy Shepard with us and Luca Parenti.
Yes, welcome you guys.
So welcome to episode 14. We're going to be still in a battlefield of the mind, part 2. We are going to be talking about flight, not fight.
That's right.
Oh, I'm sorry, I said that completely backwards. Fight, not flight.
I thought you said that.
I said it backwards.
Oh, okay.
But
I
I
didn't
just
catch that. You
corrected.
caught yourself.
And also, are you facing your giant? So we're going to start with, as we always do, with our devotional. So strap on those seatbelts and let's get ready to ride.
Right. Are you facing your giant? This comes from 1 Samuel 17:49. And David put his hand in his bag and took out a stone and slung it and struck the Philistine on his forehead. The stone sank into his forehead and he fell on his face to the ground. As a child, God prepared David to become king because he knew that David would be faced with giants his entire life. I love how David's strength started with being a shepherd boy. He worked as a courier, delivering food to his brothers. This will be referred to as DoorDash or Uber Eats nowadays. Little did he know, these were all necessary traits for being a great servant leader. David's faith was so strong that he was willing to believe that the Lord would go with him and enable him to defeat Goliath. The same God who was with David is the same God who has already fought our battles. Your servant has killed both lions and bears, and this uncircumcised Philistine shall be like one of them, since he has defied the armies of the living God, David said. The Lord who saved me from the paw of the lion and from the paw of the bear will save me from the hand of this Philistine. So Saul said to David, Go, and may the Lord be with you. 1 Samuel 17:36. I love how David reflected on his victories. He reminded Saul that God delivered him from the bear and the lion. What has God delivered you, or is currently delivering you from? Your Goliath could be a challenge that you are praying about. Just remember, the victory has already been won. When we look back and remember where God has brought us from, our faith is strengthened. David had a slingshot and a rock. What is your defense? God equips us differently. He equipped David with 5 stones that he picked up on his way to defeat Goliath. 1 Samuel 17:40. The defense is the word of God. David fastened on his sword over the tunic and tried walking around because he was not used to them. I cannot go in these, he said to Saul, because I am not used to them. So he took them off. 1 Samuel 17:39. Don't miss this point. Saul tried to give David his armor to fight the giant. David said, I can't go in these. God has specifically given us our own armor. Don't wear someone else's armor. You might lose the battle. What has God equipped you with?
That was good.
Did we start it off with
good.
David or what?
And
And
it's-
his strength in the armor.
So, yeah, that was good. That was good. So, let me introduce these 2 wonderful young men to you. I have Tommy Shepard and Luca Parenti. They are very good friends. They met each other in 6th grade.
Oh my goodness. It's good
They
friends.
both attend Oakland School of the Arts. And so now they are high schoolers. They are in the 9th grade. They've been friends ever since. And Tommy plays the saxophone, tenor saxophone. He also is a member, a rapper with the group Alphabet Rockers. And how many Grammys have you been nominated for?
3.
Oh my
He's
goodness.
a 3-time Grammy nominated rapper, y'all.
I love it.
And he also is an athlete. He plays basketball with the league called the Kraken.
Yeah.
Right? Luca Parenti, my son. Okay, I guess I just have to put that
Of
out
course you
there.
do. We needed to hear that.
Luca is a member. He's going in his 3rd year into Blue Devil Sea Corps. He plays the snare. He also plays drums with the Oakland School of the Arts. He also is a hockey player with the Oakland Bears. Quite busy, these
Very
two.
busy. And so
Quite-
are you.
Yes. So they're going to share with us. We're talking about facing your giants. And so we're going to talk about that giant we have come to know as the pandemic, COVID-19. I would definitely say that was a giant.
It was.
Understatement.
Right?
That's correct. Understatement.
And whether we wanted to face it or not, we had to. We had to face that giant. So, as a parent, as an adult person, when the pandemic was happening, and probably your parents as well, we were thinking about, work. What was that going to look like for us? We were thinking about, are we going to have enough food? We were thinking about, first of all, how to keep ourselves and our children healthy and safe. Right? So we had all these things going on. The toilet paper,
That's right. Don't forget the toilet paper. We have to always mention the toilet paper, right?
the water, all these things going on. And I think many of you out there, you have the same, the same uncertainties, the same questions in your mind. How are we going to do this? And what do you mean we have to stay inside? And the one thing that I think a lot of us missed the boat on were the children.
I agree.
How are these children being affected? We know they were home. You were home, school was now from your bedroom, your living room, or wherever. But we weren't really thinking about how you were being affected aside from just being home.
Right.
So let us know. Tell us how you were affected, Tommy.
It's just like, I feel like being inside, my social skills changed a lot. Also, like being inside and like being hecka lazy all the time, like it really took away like my sleep at night, because I was inside relaxing all day and not really doing anything to get active. So when it came to the nighttime when I actually had to sleep, I've been resting and napping all day, not really doing anything. So I got sleep deprived a lot during COVID, and it messed with like my depression a lot and stuff like that. Like when I don't get enough sleep, nothing goes good for me.
Wow.
Yeah. I nothing goes good for me
For
either.
me either. And she knows I have to go to bed early.
Yes, she's very good.
So I
She goes to
understand.
bed early. She's very disciplined. Our house, we don't really practice that. We know we should.
And Lucas shook his head. No, you don't.
No.
Right. Luca, how did it affect you?
Well, definitely like not being able to do any activities in terms of any sports, no music, no like socializing with friends. So I gained a little weight over quarantine, and my social skills as well. Like Tommy kind of just dropped. It was really bad.
So did you guys stay connected though, regardless? And how did you do that? Because that had to be difficult. You guys are besties.
Yeah.
So how did you do that? How did you two of you kind of navigate through that time period? Still remaining close and still having your friendship. How did you do that?
Well, not being able to like socializing in person, we still made an effort to like socialize over Zoom.
Okay.
Like there's a lot of times we would have like all of our friends, we'd make a Zoom and we just connect that way.
I mean, it's like seeing your friend at school every day. I seen Luca over Zoom every day in class and things like that on Zoom, but it just wasn't the same as seeing him in person.
Yeah, it was completely different. I mean, you don't get to see each other, you don't get to back them up. It was completely different.
And it's like, I feel like when I got on Zoom, like, I would put on a personality to, like, I'd seem like happy to be on Zoom, and I really didn't even want to be on Zoom. If I could have skipped the class, I would have skipped the class anyways. But it's like I put on a face and a mask to make it seem like I was okay on Zoom when maybe I wasn't. So when I seen Luca on Zoom, I didn't even know if that was the real Luca that I was seeing, or if it was something that he was putting on, or a mask that he was putting on so that he could present in a certain way.
Wow.
Was that you, Luca? Were you showing up? Was it you, or were
was
you
it the
just
mask?
going through the motions?
Yeah.
Just going through the motions, basically. I mean, that's how it was for everybody. We were all pretty much just there because we wanted the grade
Wow.
for school.
Because this is just so enlightening, even for me as a grandparent, and just you sharing the way you are, because I didn't see it from that perspective, you know. And I might be over jumping and overstepping, and stop me because I know you're a proud parent. But Luca, one way thing too, and what I was so proud of too, is the 2020 kid. I'm sorry, and I know your mom, because that to me, I told everybody about it. I'm like, okay, you already showed it to me. You're sitting, but when you did, because that gave us also a perspective and an insight of what was going on too, including your parents.
Yeah.
Did you? And I know you have wonderful parents, and I'm partial because I know them. But do you feel? And I could see from a person standing back that they were there for you. And I love how you guys put that together as much as they could be. But I love in the film how you guys kind of identified, particularly your dad, how you weren't as connected as he wasn't as connected as he thought he was. You know, so but the effort was made with all of you guys, and I have to commend you. I'm sorry, I know there is a family that mom just jumped in. But did that make you feel good, just going through the film? Did you live what you were going through when you were filming that?
Yeah,
How did that feel?
through the film there's actually like footage of me in a class.
Mm-hmm.
So like you get to see what it's actually like. And so yeah, it was good to film that. It's kind of just like showing that like we need people to be connected.
Yeah.
We can't do life by ourselves.
You said we need people to be connected. Yeah.
He
we
said,
do.
and he said we can't do life by ourselves. Sounds like that's your mom. I love it.
Yes, I
love it.
teach him.
Yes.
We were not created or designed to do life alone.
I feel like COVID made a lot of like self-accountability, because like when you're in COVID, right, like if you didn't have the self-accountability and you just want to turn off your camera, like you could really skip class and it wouldn't be anything for you, and you could get an A like that, or you could bring yourself to do the class and go through it. So yeah, I feel like self-accountability has a lot to do with COVID.
Wow. That's amazing. And when you say self-accountability, it also, and I know this is off-kiltered, but it's kind of like I play golf. I know my score, but I could kind of say, oh yeah, that was a par, when it wasn't. But it's self-accountability,
Right.
like you said. And mine has come from a different way, but I can relate to that. But it shows your character, though, Tommy, and how you're aware of that. Both of you guys. I'm just amazed because you saw that. Not everybody sees that. And so, what can I ask you? What grade did you have? Did you keep up with your grades? I know you did.
Yeah, I did, but it was kind of hard.
Of course it was, but you stayed on track though.
Yeah, I feel like grades for me, they're like really important to me, but like they're not everything. Like my grades could be, like, I could have a 4.0, but my mental health could be in a horrible place. So I feel like that's something that like had a lot to do with COVID. Like I had really good grades during COVID, but my mental health and the way that I even dealt with decision making and things like that, it was out of whack. And the connection that I had with my parents was really like weird, kinda, cause I understand like everything's not about me, and everybody had their problems during COVID. So kinda like balancing like having support and things like that, and also giving people the time to like be who they are and like be inside of themselves if they needed to check out or cope with things, because even adults have to do that sometimes, and even my parents have to do that. So recognizing the way that my parents cope with COVID and letting them have that moment. So,
Wow.
yeah.
How big.
Wow, that's powerful.
That's more than powerful.
It seemed like during COVID, you had a lot of self-awareness.
Yes.
I tried to.
No, you
No,
did.
you did.
No, wasn't
You did.
trying. You did.
You did. And Luca, first of all, let me just say, you shocked me today when you spoke about your weight gain. Because we've talked about it, and I know that was something that weighed heavily on you.
It was hard to come back to school, like, looking completely different just because of my weight. Definitely before, in 6th grade, when, like, COVID happened, I was, like, really skinny, I was really short, and then I came back, and I was definitely not that. So...
Welcome to
Yeah.
the adult world. Imagine where some of those other folks feel like too. So them listening to you can be inspired as well of how even you were aware of a change was happening, basically. Because I always still saw the same Luca, the same precious Luca. Sorry, I mean, but you noticed a change. That you weren't happy with it. You did something about it.
Yeah, to piggyback on that, like, Luca, you didn't just sit there
That's
and,
right.
and dwell about it. You did something about it to get to that self-awareness too.
That's right, Tommy.
Think about yourself and to make a change about it instead of just sitting there and not doing anything about it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Exactly.
So, Luca, I know, because I'm your mom and I was here, we were so used to seeing this upbeat, happy-go-lucky, just on the go. Mommy, I need to go here. Mommy, can you take me there? Mommy, can they spend the night? I mean, our house was hopping.
Just say the
It
least,
was
right?
it was lively. It was a lot of love and laughter and people. And when it came to, we moved during the pandemic. So you moved away from a lot of your friends too.
Yeah.
And your sister moved away, moved out of the state. How did that come into play with the pandemic for you?
Definitely made things quiet around home. Yeah, I had to search for things to do at home to keep myself moving. So,
Is that when Oscar came aboard pretty much around that time? When did Oscar come?
Oh, Oscar was pre.
Oscar's the cat, you guys.
No, Charlie's the
I'm
cat.
sorry, Charlie's the cat. Oscar and
Abigail.
Abigail, but Charlie is who I'm talking about.
Charlie,
Sorry, but our furry family members.
Charlie was
His name was-
7th grade.
7th grade.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Because he went,
Yes, Charlie came. How did Charlie help you?
right. That's what I'm.
Well, I've always wanted a cat, so Charlie kind of kept me company. in a way.
That's what I kind of gathered. Charlie's sweet. And sorry, you guys. Okay, I'm not knocking anyone who's a cat lover, but cats I'm not like. It's not that I just like them. I was kind of scared of them actually until I met Charlie.
So
I say that.
let's talk about. First of all, I commend you both because we did a movie, obviously, to help Luca with what we saw, some sadness.
Tommy, you were also in a short film, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh
Oh
really?
yeah.
you
yeah.
were.
Look at this doing so much.
Yes,
It's
you
like,
were.
oh yeah.
These. Okay, so I did a poor job in my introduction.
We miss the?
These are also actors.
Yeah. Did we miss?
Let's
it?
go back a little bit.
Really back.
Luca, the 2020 kid, is the featured actor.
Uh-huh.
Tommy, is the name of the film, Black Daddy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Tommy is a part of a film called Black Daddy.
Would you like to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah.
That's like Dame's thing and Mr. Dame's thing.
Yes,
They're
yes.
like
But you
super
were a
great.
part of that.
Yeah, I was, but that's like it was beautiful to like see how it came together and everything,
Yes.
and just to see how successful it was really great.
That's awesome.
But I recently saw you in another video.
Oh yeah, it was about
Circle, right?
yeah. I think it was about COVID and like how like kids that in orphanage is like kind of dealt with things like that. So yeah, and I played a part in that. So yeah, it's pretty
I'm gonna slip in on this one because my son, Mrs. Mary, is a rapper.
Mm.
So, question: Did the music make you feel? I know you guys have the sax, the drum, but how did the music? Was that helpful? Because music is I don't know. It speaks to our souls. It speaks to us. Did that help someone? Did it help you somewhat?
Yeah, it did kind of. Music helped me, but like what I needed the most during COVID was like movement, like
Gotcha.
like
Makes sense.
moving around and like, cause like I did a lot of things inside. Like music I feel like exerts a different type of energy for me. But what I needed, the energy that I needed to like get out of my body and like the type of things that I needed to get to doing is like I needed to move and like get bad energy and like get energy out of me by moving rather than playing my saxophone.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
yeah, I felt like sports kind of helped me during COVID, but yeah.
Good. So what are some of the positive things? I mean, actually, a lot of what you guys said
Yeah.
has been extremely positive. What are some of the other positive things that came out of COVID, Luca, for you?
I got a better connection with my parents through COVID. Learned a lot through COVID as well with school, just how to do general things around the house. And yeah, it was just a general learning experience that took a long time.
Took a long time.
But you were recognizing it, and that's just awesome. What about you, Tommy?
I learned how to manage myself during COVID because like my mom was on a Zoom call, my dad was on a Zoom call. I had to manage myself and manage my time. Well, that's actually something I have a hard time doing now, managing myself, managing my time. But I had kind of done that. Like I was kind of by my own kind of. Like my mom didn't always check Google Classroom for me. I had to do it for myself. So yeah, that's something. Also like learning how to like see people's differences and see how they cope with things, and knowing like if my mom is having a trouble or giving me some attitude, it's not always about me. So don't take it about me. To be able to see how she copes with COVID and being able to just have her time and have my dad have his time and let them do their thing. And I know it's not about me, just letting them go through it.
Really good.
You guys are just amazing.
I know.
I'm just sitting here looking at. I'm sorry for just staring at you and doing just because you guys are teaching us, and that's the whole idea. That's why we really wanted to have younger people. Not knocking the rule, folks, but we really want to hear from you guys. It's so important.
Yes.
You're our future. This is
We need to hear this because when I was growing up, I never experienced anything like a pandemic, like nothing like this. Nothing, but you guys, you've lived this, and you've walked through it.
And still walking through it similar.
Yes, and we're still walking through it, and you've gained self-management, or time management, self-awareness. You've developed a stronger, closer relationship with your parents and learned how to do things that you probably wouldn't have learned if you were doing all the other things that you were doing. That's commendable, and
really
other
is.
people, young and old, need to know that yes, we were in a storm, but we didn't have to die there. We didn't have to live there. Life does go on. Things do get better, and I think also from what you're telling me is it's our perspective. It's how we see it and how we respond to it. And you guys seem to do a very good job at responding.
Miraculous job.
You made the best out of a bad situation
Sure
with
did.
what you had.
Yeah, that's right. That's good. And what you had, and walked away with something. And I'm certain that, and you might want to, we don't want to just continue on, but this is getting even better. Did you experience or did you notice that someone, say in your classroom or in your school, just didn't make it? I mean, you don't have to say names or anything, but did you witness that? You know, or someone, not everyone can learn online or through Zoom or not have that connection. As grounded as you guys are and have the parents there to support you, I'm certain that there were some children out there that were alone and didn't have that support.
I'd say that about some people that I know that still go to our school. And I'd say that about some teachers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like our teachers. Oh no, you got it.
Yeah, some teachers kind of just like had a very hard time, and it shows how in like their social, like how they socialize, just their general attitude in classrooms, and it's hard to see because like they end up taking it out on us, which is very difficult. But just like having kind of an open and like know that, you know, some people cope different. Some people have different experiences than us. And, careful not to lay by.
We were talking before we started recording, and Tommy blew me away. He said, I actually gained so much more respect for the teachers, especially the teachers that are showing up every day.
Yeah.
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 Because, they didn't have to come back after COVID.
And some didn't.
And some didn't, yeah.
A lot of teachers left.
Some kids that I know, like, in my class, like, I really appreciate the teachers. Like, sometimes it's really hard in the classes, but I really appreciate the teachers that make their classes hard, because there were some teachers in COVID that just let us slide and, like, didn't really do anything. And then those kids that were having a hard time are now playing catch up because those teachers failed them in class because they didn't teach them the right things to learn.
You stayed at home. That's what was my concern and the coping. And you said the kid catching up, and we all know catching up is hard.
It is hard.
It's so hard, right? Because you're backpedaling, you have to do something over again, and you're just trying to catch up. But you guys are total examples of overcomers.
So, Luca, would you say that, are you feeling like you're getting everything that you could be getting from your teachers right now?
Definitely getting everything I could be and more. I feel like there's definitely still some things that I can do in quarantine that would be really helping me right now. I'm getting through it.
Wonderful.
That's great. That's great.
Wow, guys. How, as parents, I mean, we're your parents, and yes, we're perfect. No, just kidding. We're supposed to be. But how can we be better for you guys?
Good question, Juan. Good question.
I don't know, actually. I'm trying
Oh,
to
so we
think.
are perfect.
I mean, sounds like things are going well because you would just go, listen to
we
me
did a good
more.
job.
Right.
Wonderful.
If you can immediately. And you know, but while you're thinking, what struck me too is your concern for how your parents felt. And same with you, Luca. And I'm certain that was a bit of pressure too, because they're looking out for you and you're looking out for them too. You know, and you guys did an amazing job.
Yeah.
You did an amazing job.
Well, yeah, I just have an understanding for parents because, like, there's, like, people that, like, I mean, some of our leaders even don't do practices that are, like, healthy practices, and they're failing us, so even adults have problems and things like that. So I feel like kids should have flexibility with adults. But I feel like something in COVID, like, maybe this is just because in COVID, like, I became a teenager, but, like, oh, wait, I did become a teenager during COVID.
You did? Yeah. And did you just say it out loud, right?
Yeah. But maybe, like, just, like, the standard of, like, maybe being, like, treated as an adult is, like, kind of a big thing for me. Like, I feel like some adults, like, they want to give us, like, the responsibility of an adult, but they don't want to give us the privileges of being an adult. like they expect us to act and be like adults, but they want to still hold the power that they have as an adult and give us the power as a kid. So yeah,
Write that one down.
Yes.
like
Thank you for
That was
that.
good. Now,
I feel like
someone
we're
got
expected
something
to be
from
adults,
that.
but just the expectation is for us to act like adults, but then when we want to do things for ourselves, and even when we want to tell like adults and teach them something, they want to have the authority as if we were still kids.
Okay. So we need to be open to the idea that we can learn from you guys.
That's right.
I will tell you right now, I'm learning from these two.
So am I. And I hope
These two
someone's
teams.
learning too. As you're listening to this, we do need to not be so narrow-minded in a sense. And I guess, and I'm not, making an excuse for that because what you're saying is so valid. But I think it comes from a place where we always want to protect. So yeah, we want to give you so much where you can do on your own. But the other, oh my goodness, something could happen to you. And so that balance as adults, we need to do a better job at that. Because I'm certain that's where your parents are. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm letting you be an adult, but we're trying to groom you to that space. But then, like you said, you don't get the privileges of it.
Yeah.
Luca, don't be afraid, but what could Luca, by the way, he may seem like he has few words today, y'all, but Luca lets us know. He keeps us, he calls us out all the time. Luca, how could Dad and I be better? Because we know that we can be.
It's hard to think of like what to say, like just on the fly.
That's okay, but whatever you say, you can hold them to it, right? Because it's now filmed, it's written.
Right.
So make it good.
Yes.
Well, this is mainly for Dad,
Okay.
not as much for you.
Okay.
But keep it down on like just the extra critical things.
Say that one more time.
Keep it down on the extra like things that you do at home. If you know what I mean.
Criticizing? Did you say not so much criticizing?
No,
I'm sorry.
You're trying to find the right way to say it.
yeah.
He's like me.
Yeah, he's
He has to
very
make sure he
diplomatic.
says
yeah,
it right.
saying it in the right way.
Bring it down a couple of notches.
Yeah. Can I say anything?
We are honest, open, and transparent
Yes, you can.
here.
Alcohol.
Okay.
Okay.
Just keep it down.
Okay.
Okay.
Like, I understand some people think that they know their limitations, but like, sometimes what you think is not always what's correct.
Okay.
All right.
And we'll all take note of that because from the mouths, and you guys are definitely not babes
Right.
from our youth.
Right.
Thank you.
Be more present. Really present is what you're saying.
Mhm.
Like Tommy said. Tommy said when you talked about you didn't know if it was actually Luca or a mask.
Yeah, the mask,
Or he
the real-
was,
Yes.
so you need Dad to be actually Dad.
Yeah.
What about your teachers? Because you guys, I've been
Oh.
hearing things.
There's a lot of things that we could
How could
both
the
say.
teachers be better, though? Because I believe that they want to be. I just don't know that they have the self-awareness that you two have
That's right.
experienced.
One thing that I will say about a teacher, or my teachers, that I definitely think that we all need is, like, to stop treating us or talking to us like we're stupid.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's good.
That happens
like
a lot.
authority.
Like,
Back to that authority.
Or just being disrespectful
Yeah.
towards you because you're kids.
Yeah,
yeah. And then also, I don't know if you want to talk about like the learning disability.
no, yeah, just kind of like, there's a lot of like, what's the word? Exponents, like, me being a person of color, I also have ADHD, so like there's a lot of things that's like they could like the biases that can go into like when I'm in a classroom. So yeah, then it's like the authority that they have, like the way that they speak to us, and also like the school to prison pipeline. So like when they're like when we make a mistake, like they treat it as if it's like that makes us who we are, and like we should be punished for that for like as long like we showed them who we are already, and they take it as such a big deal. And I feel like it's the mistakes that we make, like it's not that serious in class. Like where's the empathy that you have, like when you're thinking to yourself like, is this really worth it to bring up with this kid, or maybe I should just let them chill for this minute? Why are they acting out like this? Is it about me, or could it be something that had happened at home or is happening right now? So I feel like that goes into like being a teacher, that my teachers aren't that understanding.
You guys are so smart.
Wow.
You guys are so smart, not only intellectually, but once again, wisdom. I'm seeing wisdom at such a
Yeah.
young age, and I'm just so inspired.
And you are so brave.
Yes.
You're so brave.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you
Yes.
for sharing. And as far as facing your giants, you guys have faced the giant.
Mhm.
And wow, you're dripping in oil like David.
That's, I was like, right.
You're
Yeah.
more than conquerors.
That's right.
And I know that you're going to be ready and prepared for the next giant, because we know that there's always going to be a giant, right?
That's correct.
There's always going to be a giant.
And it sounds like also, you guys, and this is just a bit piggybacking on what Juan is saying, thank you for expressing that about the teachers, because this could also apply to other adults and the way they handle the conversations with you guys. And like you said, basically it sounded to me as they were, your teachers were coming, kind of approaching you in a condescending type of way, a way of like you said, I'm stupid, and you're not. I see two intelligent young men here that are going to make a difference in tomorrow. And I know she knows this, but this is me. I know Luca been on since he was wearing those Spider-Man boots that
Batman boots.
Batman boots.
Yes.
But from what I see and I feel and sense, and you guys are just already doing great things. You already are. You're just going through the process right now to become that older man. You're just on that journey is the word I'm saying. So don't let any teacher or anyone tell you something indifferently. The fact that you're aware of it just shows so much. That means they have no power in time. I know it's kind of disappointing, right? Because in your mind we have thoughts, right? And we're thinking, why is that person talking to me like this? And you can't say that to them because it goes back to what you're saying, Tommy, authority.
Yeah.
Right? But God is the first one who has authority over us, right? Then our parents. We want to put that in line.
Yes.
And sometimes people just don't know what to do. So you acting and responding the way you respond is teaching them, both of you. Because you guys on some point are the teachers in a different way.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly speaking, in a different way.
And I think, like I said, it takes a lot of courage
Yes, it
to
does.
come on a podcast even and to speak openly about
That's right.
something like this, and how you felt, how you dealt with it, and how you saw other people dealing with it and how it affected you.
That's right. That's right.
So, but it's very key. We have to talk about it.
Yes, we do.
We have to be able to talk about it so that we can help each other. If nobody's talking about it, we're not getting any help. And we're not getting better. And we can be better together.
Yes, we can.
All right?
Yes, we can. And you guys
So-
have proven that just in your walk.
Proud of both of
I
you
am
guys,
too.
really. Now, one last thing is, what can you say to your peers? Some encouraging words to your peers, some who you know are struggling, to help them face their giant and be better.
Just that, like, because like with the thing where Luca was talking about just like being better, and it was when he was facing his giant, but now he is better for it now. Like, it took a lot to come forward, and it probably took a lot of courage and everything and a lot of energy to face that giant, but now that he has faced that giant, he is stronger for it and better for it now. So if you can take yourself and bring the energy to face that giant, you'll be stronger for it after.
And use you as an example. I'm so sorry.
I
You guys
know.
are definitely
I know.
besties, and I love it. You encourage each other. Keep doing that.
Yes.
What would you say,
What
Luca?
would you say to your peers,
Mhm.
Luca?
You're not alone.
Huh?
You're not
You're not
alone.
alone. You say
You're not
that.
alone?
Mhm.
You're not alone.
That's powerful. That's powerful because that's
Even-
a major point that a lot of
Yeah.
right. That's
Everybody, when you're going through something, you feel like it's just you.
huge. And you're
and
alone.
you're all by yourself.
Mhm.
But thank you, Luca. You're
Thank
not
you.
alone.
That's beautiful. It's definitely beautiful. Wow.
Well, thank you guys
so
for your
much.
time. Thank
Oh,
you for
goodness.
your honesty, your
Yes.
openness,
Yes.
your truth. Really appreciate you being here today.
Thank you. And I'm
Proud
going to
of us.
end it. And
Thank you, yeah.
Oh, wait,
because
we-
we're
we-
gonna one more
One
thing.
more thing,
one more
guys.
thing.
I know you guys got
I
to
know
get
you're
to the many things that you
You
do.
have to do. We just
So
definitely
we
think.
say a prayer at the end.
And the prayer is, Lord, help me realize the armor you have specifically given me. Give me courage to face all of my difficulties with the greatest armor, your word. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Destination Destiny.